Hi, this is Sam, and my wife just grabbed onto my underwear and I ran around the house like a sled.
That was wonderful.
What
That was my favorite thing.
What are people doing right now?
What do you mean?
They're listening to our podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to a very special episode, as they are of B&S About Movies. 9:57 p.m. on a Friday night.
9:52.
Oh, my clock's a little off. My wife and I are getting ready to watch a movie we've been trying to find for quite some time. Why don't you tell us about this movie, baby Becca?
It's based on a diary.
You have the diary.
Yes, I do. It's in there.
What's it called?
Go ask Alice.
Tell us what it's about.
The story of a 15-year-old girl and moving to a new town and fitting in with people and getting involved with drugs to be cool. I think they made this movie for drug awareness.
So this was something I should watch?
Mm-hmm.
Like when they pass around the drugs around the room? Did they ever pass the box of drugs around the room?
Yep.
It's a fictional biography. Fictionalized autobiography detailing the life of a troubled teenage girl. It is written by Anonymous in the form of a diary in which she becomes addicted to drugs. Her name is never given in the book, but the epilogue states that the novel is based on the diary of a real girl named Alice. The novel's title is taken from a line in the Jefferson Airplane song White Rabbit,
Yes.
which itself is a reference
To drugs.
and to Alice in Wonderland.
Mm-hmm.
Claimed to be taken from an actual diary, the story caused a sensation when published and remains in print. However, revelations about the book's origin cast doubt on its authenticity and factual accounts, and the publishers have listed it as a work of fiction since the mid-'80s.
I believe it's true.
Though it's still published under the byline Anonymous, it is largely wholly the work of its reported editor, Beatrice Sparks. It became a TV movie in 1973 with Jamie Smith Jackson, William Shatner, Ruth Roman, Andy Griffith, Wendell Burton, and Julie Adams.
Good.
Yeah. Sparks is the sole copyright owner for the book. Sparks based the novel on one of her patients that she had. She was a psychologist. So, no one is sure. Sparks went on to produce several other alleged diaries dealing with various problems faced by teenagers, such as Treacherous Love, the diary of an anonymous teenager, Almost Lost, the story of an anonymous teenager's life on the streets, Annie's Baby, the diary of an anonymous, if pregnant teenager, and It Happened to Nancy. In an article on the Urban Legends page on Snopes, urban folklore expert Barbara Mickelson points out even before the revelations about the authorship, there was ample internal evidence that the book was not an actual diary. The lengthy, detailed passages about the harmful effects of illicit drugs and the relatively small amount of space dedicated to relationships and social gossips seem uncharacteristic of a teenage girl's diary. In addition, the article mentioned a disclaimer in the book's copyright notice page, which states, "This book is a work of fiction." This was an ABC TV movie of the week. There are many censorship controversies because Go Ask Alice the book includes profanity, as well as explicit references to runaway, drugs, sex, and rape. Stand-up comedian Paul F. Tompkins has a track on his comedy album where he derides this book as the phoniest of balonies and suggests it was written by the writing staff of Dragnet. The album itself is drawn from a passage in the book where the narrator refers to an insane asylum as the Freak Wharf.
There's like this section where she's talking about how she tried LSD. And so she writes, "Last night I tried acid for the first time. It was pretty good, but I can't wait to try pot." Get the order right, at least.
Let me tell you a little bit about this movie. Inadvertently, a 14-year-old girl in the late 1960s is sucked into an odyssey of sex and drugs. She eventually seeks help. If you like this movie, here's what you would like. Home for the Holidays?
Love that movie.
Do you?
Yeah, it's with Bonnie Hunt and Robert Downey Jr.
No, this is the horror movie one.
Oh, why would you like that?
Sybil,
Mm-hmm.
The Night Stalker, Night Gallery, Quincy,
I love Quincy.
The Devil's Daughter, Death Takes a Holiday, and The Mary Tyler Moore Show. Julie Adams is in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know who she is? She was on General Hospital. She's also in Creature from the Black Lagoon. William Shatner, of course. Do we even need to talk about who William Shatner is?
We've met him.
Yes, Ruth Roman's in this. She plays the psychiatrist.
Andy Griffith.
He plays a priest.
Yeah.
I mean, what else do we need to know about Andy Griffith? He's Matlock, after all. And Andy Griffith. Jamie Smith Jackson plays Alice. She was in All the President's Men as a librarian. Yeah. She's married to Michael Ontkean, who is the Canadian-American actor best known for being in Slapshot, as well as playing Sheriff Truman on Twin Peaks. How about that?
Yeah.
Yes. So some connections. And Robert Carradine's in this,
Yeah.
son of John Carradine.
Yeah.
And Mackenzie Phillips, who herself had several drug problems.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear the keywords for this?
Yep.
Drugs, drug addiction, braless teen, homeless teen, amphetamines, mental hospital, LSD, teenage girl, shy, rape, prostitute, peer pressure, drug, compassion, teenager, based on novel, character's name in the title, father-daughter relationship, authority, drug addict, pimp, runaway, student, cocaine, marijuana, psychedelic heroin, 3-word title, mother-daughter, 14-year-old. Alice lives somewhere in the Cincinnati area. The area code in her diary that the priest reads off is 513. Charles Martin Smith worked on 2 other movies with Mackenzie Phillips. Did you know that? American Graffiti and More American Graffiti. They have no scenes together. The opening disclaimer, which we have on the screen, says, this motion picture is based on the authentic diary of a 15-year-old American girl. The only alterations have been by those necessitated by considerations of length and acceptability for family viewing. That's, there's, people, they don't show all the stuff. They can't show the junk. Do you want to hear some quotes from Alice?
Yeah.
Can you believe it? Stoned out of our minds, my own parents can't tell the difference. How'd they get to the age they are? He's getting high just talking about getting high. And you're getting high off of his high, and I'm just getting high off your high. It's all one big contact high. Richie said parents always notice missing booze, but never pills or cash. He says that shows where their heads are at. And then finally, on the soundtrack, well, White Rabbit's on it. Some good vibrations. Some Paul Williams, favorite. You know, some Steve Winwood, Dear Mr. Fantasy. Yeah. There's some good 70s music in this. Yeah. This is on a list of best hippie exploitation and massive family inspired movies. How about that? On the related lists. When did you see this movie? Did you rent it?
I saw it in school, actually.
They showed it to you in school?
Uh-huh.
Did they show you Unsafe at Any Speed?
No.
Oh. It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's about this couple that goes to the prom together, and they
Yeah.
die. And at the end, the girl's like, look at my friends. They look so sad. They realize I'm dead. Here's a letter someone sent, if you'd like to hear it. Well, I, for one, believe that Go Ask Alice is the true story of a teenage girl. But it turned out it was written by an older woman as a cautionary tale. The results, for me at least, made it hard to sit through this movie. The acting is not good. It's interesting to see Mackenzie Phillips. I think she should have written the script, seeing how she did so many drugs. Probably would have been a little more believable. Robert Carradine plays Bill. You might remember him from Revenge of the Nerds and Lizzie McGuire. Or you might not remember him at all. Oh, that's William Shatner as the father and Andy Griffith as the priest. The one thing about this movie, it doesn't include the best line from the book. Another day, another blowjob. Here's the top-rated letters. This one says, you're kidding me, right? And it comes from Scorsese on Coke. I watched this on YouTube. Is this what the hype's all about? I'm not impressed. I've seen better drug movies. It says, picture, if you can, a time of no home computers with endless websites. Available were a handful of TV stations with shows that, although they were adapting the changing mores of society, still were fairly restrictive in what they broadcast. A time of no VHS or DVDs. Coming of age TV shows along the lines of Andy Griffith, Star Trek, Brady Bunch, and the Monkees. What came into your house as a young person, the form media was pretty contained compared to now. So Go Ask Alice, and later The Death of Richie, were both pretty powerful to a young person. Go Ask Alice, to me, was unusual back in the day because it was told from the viewpoint of a young modern-day girl transformed by the modern-day drug scene, not portraying this in any glitzy style. Her life was mundane at first, then it got gritty. That made it even more realistic. At the time, everyone thought this was utterly true, and that made it quite potent. The scene about the couple who abused her and her friend when they were on the run, and what happened when she slipped the LSD while babysitting. Those were fairly frightening at the time. A lot of water's gone under the bridge for now, and everybody's jaded. It's kind of hard to be naive for long, but this movie was more to us than a drug movie. It might not hold up for you modern viewers, but I still like to watch it now and again. For the story, for the nostalgia, for some of the performances. I'm sorry you can't appreciate it. Someone wrote, great post, Diane. Your posting is by far the best here. Realistic and telling people the 70s were a scary time for drugs. This movie should be remade, and here's who should be in it. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Dakota Fanning is Alice, because she's got the chops. Josh Hutcherson is Bill. Michael Keaton is the dad. Kelly Preston is the mom. Randy Quaid is the priest.
Where did I get these from?
Yeah, I totally agree, except for the whole Dakota Fanning thing. She couldn't do it. SRRY. I'm thinking Courtney Love is Alice. Carrot Top is Bill. Mr. Bean is the dad, and RuPaul is the mom. Will Ferrell is the priest. The Rock is Chris. Xena is Doris. William Shatner plays the same part. I really want this to be a remake. It should be in the 70s, though. And maybe Ellen Page can be in it. By the way, if you love 70s movies, check out Boy in the Plastic Bubble, Something Evil, Crowhaven Farm, Bad Ronald, Trilogy of Terror, and The Night Stalker. Did you ever see Bad Ronald? He lives in the walls. Yeah, it's really good. He lives inside the walls. And yeah. Does anyone know who Alice really is? Duh. She's the maid from the Brady Bunch, is the first answer. Boy, there's some really mean people in here.
Yeah.
Someone's like, who's Alice? And they're like, it's a song. So, I'm excited for this. I love TV movies. And I think there's something lost. I think Lifetime is the last people making TV movies.
Yeah.
Especially with pedals in my butt.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the other one called? Lilies from Yesterday.
Lilies from yesterday. Seeds of yesterday.
So Yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Am I going to be... Will I cry during this movie?
Maybe.
Will I stop doing drugs?
No.
Will I look out for kids?
Look where he is.
At a museum?
Of mystifying wonders.
She was at Dollywood yesterday.
I know.
Do you think that she's going to put this onto her vision board?
I think so.
Did you tell her that we did a whole podcast about her vision board?
I have to. I didn't call her because I let her go on vacation.
Do you think she made a vision board to build up for her vacation?
Yep.
Do you think it said...
I don't think she told anyone about that, though.
I like when she cuts headlines out of magazine articles.
Oh, I know.
The first time I saw that on the back of the door, it blew my mind.
It changed your life.
Changed my life.
Mm-hmm.
You guys were good roommates, I think.
I know. We had a good time.
You had a good time.
I know. Probably should have lived with her before I lived with older people.
Yeah. You're not talking
Other
about,
than...
not talking about me, right? Am I a good roommate?
Yes.
I think I'm a good
That's
roommate.
why I chose to live with you for the rest of my life.
I think I'm a good roommate. I don't leave too much around.
You leave your shoes downstairs.
I leave my shoes downstairs because I wear them when I go out of the house.
Book bag.
I leave my book bag because I need my
Pants.
computer. Pants go downstairs so you can put them on before you put your shoes on.
Most people keep pants in their closet.
People are idiots.
Maybe.
Because when I say where are my pants, I could say they're on the pants chair.
On a chair, a nice
That's
chair in our
a
living room.
Pants chair. Bring me my pants chair.
Not a good roommate?
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about living with me?
I get a lot of. Well, I get to see your beautiful face every day.
Uh-huh.
I never had different scents
Yeah.
every month. There's a different scent every month.
Yeah.
There's constantly new things, so I have to be on my toes. There's new paintings, new
I do
decorations.
it for a game for you. It's called
Yeah.
Spy.
I never changed out my toothbrush ever. Now,
In 40 years.
I brush my teeth once, and there's a whole new brush there every time.
I get scared for germs.
And there's always a new brush. The other day, I accidentally used Becca's toothbrush, and I had a fucking panic attack. I made water as hot as I could, and I ran under it for a minute,
It's still thrown out.
and I dried it, and I was like, oh, it's probably cleaner than it's ever been.
Yeah, when they made it.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm sorry, use your brush. You're like, threw it.
I can't. That's the one thing I can't handle.
My wife constantly puts her hands up my butt, but she's fine with brushing her teeth.
Yeah.
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 It's different.
Yeah.
One's not a necessity, one's a pleasure.
By that I mean she grabs my underwear and I run around the house as hard as I can and I drag her
It's fun.
until my underwear rips and then
Sled dog.
I get laughed at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, baby. It's my favorite thing.
So we got $100 to make our costumes. Cole asked us if we could use some of it because we weren't spending any money on our costumes. So we went to the spirit store and bought white leotards.
For what?
And I just sat there while we were all dressed up for our card costume with white leotards on.
Like he wanted to wear them?
Yeah.
Right then?
Yes.
Oh,
You could see his underwear and everything. And he was
enjoy it.
dancing around the office. Wasn't for me.
Oh.
But I'm glad he's here.
He's there and he's queer.
And I guess I've gotten used to it. I have gotten used to it. So Alice is 15 years old.
Yeah.
She's a regular girl. With regular dreams, hopes, and fears.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when we had health class, we used to watch these movies right before prom. They're all about not drinking and driving. And all the kids die in them horribly.
Oh, yeah.
Did you do mock accident in your school?
They did, but I don't think I went that day.
Oh, they used to do it every year where they would take a car that was wrecked and they would put 4 people in it. And they would have blood and stuff all over them.
But that wouldn't change the way I felt about it. I'd be like, oh, good, a horror movie. Goodbye.
And they'd be like, oh, our friends are
I
all
told
dead.
You, my whole thing, like, I know everybody says it, but for me, it's really true. I would rather see people blown up in front of me than animals die every day. I don't care if your leg's over there. I don't care.
When
Where's the kitty?
I was upset that I wasn't asked to help. Because when I was that age, all I did was special effects. I had my Tom Savini book. And I used to send kids home from our house with wounds and eyes hanging out and stuff.
Their parents probably loved
Their parents, Jeff's mom might have had a meltdown one time. They sent Ray home with a broken arm.
you.
And bones were sticking out of the skin and stuff. Yeah, it was really real. Yeah, I was good at doing like cuts and bruises and then like doing like fake stuff around the eye and like bruising and stuff, like puffiness and stuff.
Right here.
Yeah, so that's what I used to do. I used to study my Tom Savini book all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'd read Fangoria and be like, I wish I could find a copy of The Burning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fun facts today.
People want to watch this.
You can't.
There is a DVD. It's really hard to find. I would say you go to a site called iOffer. It's kind of like the dark side of the internet. Because you're going to get a you're going to get a DVD that's inside a paper case, and it's not going to have a cover.
No.
And what's awesome about iOffer is you don't have to pay the price that they tell you at all.
Maybe it'll be like 8mm, and one day we'll get a snuff film.
I dream of that.
And
There's
we'll
no
have to-
such thing as real snuff films.
And we'll have to go, hunt down the killers.
Did you ever see the movie Snuff? So it was, they had already filmed this horror movie. It's kind of like,
Most of the ones from then are stuff films, except they're not real. But...
No. So what happened was, I think Roberta Findlay actually shot it with her husband.
Mm-hmm.
And so they, right after Manson and all that stuff, there was rumors that Manson had snuff films. So they took it.
Doubt it.
They took an existing horror film.
Yeah.
And they put on a new beginning where they were filming like a snuff film.
Yeah.
And all these people thought it was real.
Yeah.
When there's these Japanese series of films called Tokyo Guinea Pig.
Yeah.
It's a special effects group in Japan. And they're horrible movies. Like, there's no narrative whatsoever.
Yeah.
There's one movie where a guy dresses as a samurai and he cuts a girl up. It's like 15 minutes long.
Yeah.
There's another one called Mermaid in a Manhole where this guy finds a mermaid and she dies in this tub and he uses her blood to paint with. They're
But it's not real.
No, it's not real. But
Yeah.
bootlegs of Tokyo Guinea Pig entered in the U.S. mid-'80s,
Yeah.
early 90s. Charlie Sheen got one of the bootleg tapes of it and
Mm-hmm.
was so upset by it, he called the FBI because he thought he had a snuff movie.
Uh-uh.
So that should tell you how disgusting these movies are if they upset
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen. I think if any celebrity would have a snuff film, it would be Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
But I don't think there are any. But I think if you wanted to meet the Machine from 8mm, that porn place that's up on the hill, across from 7-Eleven down in McKeesport,
Mm-hmm.
that's where he lives.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, if you want to watch this movie,
Yeah.
I offer, it's like $5. You get a DVD, it's alright quality.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can watch it on YouTube. But you should watch it. And if you were a 15-year-old that did drugs, or if you watched this movie, or if you love TV movies, you should get at us. All right, we're going to watch it.
Show starts in 8 minutes. Yum, yum. It's time for a tasty and refreshing snack. We promise to satisfy your hunger, your thirst, your sweet tooth. So visit our refreshment center now. Let's go! Show starts in 7 minutes.
It's refreshment time, folks.
Taste that beats the others cold. Pepsi pours it on. Taste that beats the others cold. Pepsi pours it on.
Like a diary.
Uh-huh.
And then the last couple ones, there aren't even dates because they aren't even sure.
Yeah.
The last page tells you.
Oh. Her parents came for a movie and found her dead. They called the police in the hospital. There's nothing they could do.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. This is the most 70s movie ever. 1. 2, look at the trippy visuals someone put on the DVD that we got off
I like it.
I offer. It's like 7 minutes of just jazz music playing with like this happening.
Well, maybe you can read this if you want.
Look, you could just trip out and watch this video.
Yeah, I know. Where's our stuff?
Yeah.
How come my baby's not pushing?
Are you holding?
Are you holding? Teen's pushing.
So,
I got
the book and the movie end differently. In the end of the movie, should I spoil it for everybody?
Sure.
I mean, it came out in 73. If you haven't seen it by now.
It's your problem.
So, her boyfriend takes her to school, and she's like, I'm not going to take a diary anymore. And everything's positive and like really picking up. And then it says, hey, she's dead. Her mom all of a sudden comes in like, hey, I know my daughter's been reading you the diary up till now, but I wanted to write in her diary and just let you know she's dead. We don't know if she overdosed, if someone gave her the wrong pills. Things were looking up. Now she's dead.
Poor Alice.
Okay, some thoughts on this movie.
Yeah.
That kitchen that her college friend had?
No, that was
Geeky
her.
girl. Your geeky friend who had the college boyfriend.
No, but that was their house, I think.
Oh, that stove was amazing. That salad she made, I would eat the fuck out of that salad. That
It was
salad.
like a lettuce wreath.
A
with
lettuce
all the
wreath.
crap in the middle.
Oh, it looks so good.
I'll make you a lettuce wreath
Between
tomorrow.
we watched Simply
When I make your salads from now, I'm gonna line the plate with lettuce around.
It seems like so much work.
And just fill the center with all the toppings.
We watched Simply Irresistible, and that movie's all about crabs that teach what's her name from Cruel Intentions Sarah Michelle Gellar how to cook.
Gar.
Sarah Michelle Gellar how to cook.
Oh my goodness. Sorry, baby.
Go ahead.
The boy from Plato's met Tim Curry tonight. Look how bad he looks.
Oh, he had a stroke.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he almost died.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah.
Oh, I said he was the nicest person though.
I've heard.
That's really sad.
I've heard really nice things about him.
Yes. I would just think of it. I would be scared of him.
Yeah. But Shatner's amazing in this movie.
Yeah.
He has some great outfits.
Yeah.
The kids in the school are horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Do you really think it was like this in the 70s?
Yes, I do.
Should we call my parents and ask them because they taught in the 70s?
No, because I've seen pictures of my dad. I know that it was like this.
Wouldn't they be great, like, special, put my parents on the spot on the podcast? Be like, Dad, I think people would like to hear that.
No.
Yeah.
They just, it's going to happen, though. That will turn off and you'll lose your
No, I'll
recording.
call them on the phone.
Oh.
We'll low-tech it.
Why don't you call him on this phone?
On this phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, call them. Put them on speaker.
Now I know I've seen pictures of my father and all his friends. They were those people.
Look how trippy this DVD is.
That's the smoke.
Is it, can't you trip like I do? Remember that song?
Hello?
Hi, Mom.
Hey, Sam. How you doing?
Good, I'm recording you.
Why?
Because I'm recording a podcast and I have a question for you.
Okay, good.
We're watching Go Ask Alice.
Okay.
Did you ever read that book?
Maybe. Fill me in a little bit.
It came out in the 70s. It's a girl's diary about how she was on drugs in high school.
No.
And then she overdoses and dies at the end.
No.
And Sam was upset.
So you taught in 1971 to 2.
1971, 1970.
Yeah. And Dad taught.
Actually, 1969, if you want to go all that way back.
And Dad taught through this era too.
Oh, your dad taught in like the early 20s, 30s.
Yeah.
He was a ragtime.
And I know Elwood City's not.
Yeah, that was one of his books, yeah.
Yeah, he taught Leo Gorcey and the Dead End kids how to read.
You're not thinking of Sylvia Plath, are you?
No. This is like a total junkie like exploitation movie.
Okay.
It was a TV movie. William Shatner plays the dad, and Andy Griffith plays a priest. I mean, it's great.
No, I was thinking the one I was thinking of was with the guy that was Raymond's father,
Oh, yeah.
and he was so horrible with his daughter.
Oh, no.
What was that called?
I can't remember that one.
Joe. Yes, that was it.
Joe.
That's one I'm getting mixed up with. No, I don't think I know this one.
Anyway, you guys taught in... This movie takes place in Cincinnati.
In high school.
In a high school in Cincinnati. And
Sure.
every single kid has pills and weed and cocaine. And
No, I only remember... No. I only...
did he just yell Blackboard Jungle?
I do remember one boy used to use as a bookmarker marijuana.
Uh-huh.
And he's mentally ill now. I'm friends with him on Facebook. He just sent his
What's his name? Go ask
a picture
him.
of himself on his birthday naked.
Oh, wow.
So that turned out real well. His dad was a psychologist.
Go ask
Yeah.
Jimmy.
Very nice parents.
Yeah.
One brother moved to New York City and became a ballet dancer. One became a sculptor. And he just became mental.
Oh, wow.
But he lives in New York City right now.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
But in this movie, every single kid has drugs.
No, it wasn't that way.
There
Okay.
was only like 10 that didn't.
Yeah, there are only like 10 kids, and this one girl's like, I think I'm the only girl in this school that's straight, and I can't hang out with you because everybody's on drugs.
I do remember sitting through assemblies and smelling it.
Do you remember they used to pass out in Cub Scouts? They passed the box of drugs around the room, and then at West End there were drugs missing when it came back to the front?
No, but I do remember smelling it in school, and I can tell you the first place I ever saw marijuana was like 1965 at Lincoln High School.
Oh, wow.
But that was really hidden. That was in that room that's up over the auditorium.
Yeah.
The sound crew uses. Photo room, the sound room up there. That's the first place I ever saw it. And he's dead too, come to think of it. Came from California. And he was the first person I ever saw use drugs.
We, do you remember the first time we did the tour of Art Institute? The whole downstairs smelled like weed?
Yeah, that's the time we went for I said, I don't think you should go to this school.
Do you
And no, it gets better. And then we went to the elevator, and a boy with about 3-foot-tall spikes in his hair, mohawk, spikes down the middle, said, "What floor, ma'am?" And I thought, okay. He was lovely. He was just the nicest boy, but I was afraid he was going to pierce me on his hair. Do you remember that, Sam? I think it was blue, too. And I said, honey, you really want to go to Carnegie Mellon, don't you? And you said, you remember what you said?
No.
You said, wear socks with their sandals there.
Yeah, I did. I didn't like them.
You said, I don't like those people. And I said, I know, but you'll be very rich if you go there.
Sorry,
And you
baby.
said, I'll look at it, but I don't want to redo famous pictures. That isn't what I want to do for my life.
See?
Yeah.
I just wanted to do ads for grocery stores.
What, Sam?
I just wanted to do grocery store ads. That's all I
Your
really
father's making really funny comments.
Oh, what
You're
did-
not hearing it.
What did he say?
Nothing. He said you would have been gay at that point.
You know what? I told Becca at the beginning of this, the girl and the boy have this relation. I mean, the two girls have this relationship, and I realized other than having sex, I probably dated, but you know, because we didn't know anybody else in high school.
No, your best friend was gay and you didn't even know.
No, that's what I mean. I think we dated. We just didn't know about any
You
of
guys
the
were
others.
friends for years.
Yeah, I know. I also told Becca the story. Do you remember the time I went? We've talked about it on the podcast before. About in 4th grade when I went to the Elport roller rink and kids were smoking weed, and I came home crying and made you call the police.
You would have been Fink.
Do you remember that?
Well, I think you were just saying they were smoking and the sign said no smoking. That upset you even more.
Just cigarettes.
And I said that they smelled funny like cherries.
You said yes. Yes. I think you were coming from a party.
Yeah.
And then these were older kids going in afterwards, and we picked you up. I think we were at the drugstore down the corner or something.
I remember being really upset about it.
You used to get upset about a lot of things.
My baby, the narc.
Did you ever tell Becca about how you used to run the halls screaming about infinity?
No.
Contemplating infinity at 2 in the morning.
I still do that because I still do the number sequences and yell
I
them
kept
out.
saying, go to bed. You have school in the morning. Yeah, Dad's talking about the people coming over the hill in the woods.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
it
an-
was tough, Sam.
that's another story. This movie has like it's a reference to Jefferson Airplane.
I think it was probably influenced by Easy Rider and Joe.
Well, it's all like this girl gets hooked on drugs. She goes to a party, and they dose her with acid, and then her life just falls apart. She can't stop doing drugs.
Yeah, it sounds like a pretty bad movie and a waste of time.
It was pretty. I'm going to tell you, it was great.
Do what I tell you and watch the Minions.
I know, but it was really good. It was like it's a lot of. It was a team. Becca saw it in school. They showed it to her to warn her about not doing drugs.
That movie?
Yeah, they watched it in.
Reefer Magnet?
No. Go ask Alice. They watched it in school. In health class.
Well, we used to watch a movie when we took driver's training about how you could get killed in a car wreck.
Unsafe at any speed. I just told Becca about it.
No, it was terrible.
Did you watch the prom one where?
Yeah.
And they get killed at the prom.
Yeah, we had to watch that in assemblies, too.
I'm in Batesville, Indiana, where a wrecked van is on display in front of the Batesville High School. There is a story behind every wrecked car. You wonder who was driving. Where were they going? What stopped them so abruptly? Was it a pretty face that made this gaping, jagged hole in the windshield? There are hints that it didn't start out to be a story with an ugly end. A blood-stained purse and a program. It was the junior-senior prom. A white rosebud corsage. It might have been pressed in a family Bible in memory of this night, but now it lies wilting and forgotten. A grim reminder that for the girl who wore it, this was to be the last prom.
Driver's training, and then they'd make us sit through it, and then they'd take us out in the parking lot and tell us all the things that could happen to us. Yeah, we had phony accidents in the parking lot.
Yeah, we had the phony accident too. I just told Becca about it.
Mm-hmm.
I was mad because the phony accident special effects didn't look good.
No, but it didn't change a thing.
No.
I was just thinking about it the other day. The coolest kid was this kid called Bucko Turner, and he came in a baby blue Riviera, and he put down the glove box, and it had a turntable inside.
Wow.
I would have gone out with them.
He was playing the Supremes, going up and down Lawrence Avenue playing the Supremes. And I thought, wow, what a date. But I couldn't date him because he was black. That's when I wasn't.
That wasn't your choice, though. I just want to set that up because that's
not
something.
Italians either, so.
Oh yeah. Would you think they would have been happier if he dated a black person or an Italian person?
It was a draw.
It was a draw.
It was a draw. It depended. Yeah, it really depended what kind of mood they were in. Yeah. Dad, Italian, it was kind of close. Yeah.
Oh man.
That's why you don't have grandparents today.
No.
Because I married a black man. What can I say?
Is he from Sicily?
No. Your father is from Fondi by Latina. Oh, no. He's a better one.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's one of the good ones. He's a better class. All I know that if you're married to an Italian, they go out and they party every Friday night. And you're not allowed to wear lipstick. I know that for sure.
You're not allowed to drink pop out of the can.
Oh, yeah, and you have to have a baby every year, which was true.
You were 2 for 2, and then you're like,
It was 3 for 3.
Yeah.
My dad next.
Yeah, I know. We'll call, because I said I want to call my parents and ask them if there were this many drugs. She said we'd call my dad, but I've seen pictures of my dad in 1973, and there were that many drugs. There's a lot of pictures of their dad with lightning bolt pants on
And makeup.
and makeup.
But your dad was just naturally mellow.
Yeah.
He
There's
was-
pictures of her
What
dad.
happened now?
There's pictures of her dad with like a heart over one eye and a star over the other.
All I know is Puck used to say to your dad, Junior, get a haircut. That was the big one. Junior, get a haircut.
Dad had a big helmet of hair.
He had no hair just like Noah. He just had a huge afro. I mean, he just had really, really big hair. Now, you know the new picture? Were you here last week? Yeah, you were here last week. and I showed you the picture, the church picture,
Yeah.
where you kids had on the green leisure suits.
Yeah.
Dad said he looks like a porn star in that.
Wow.
So I'm making a copy. He had the big mustache hanging
He did
down.
have a huge mustache.
Yeah, he looked like Freddie Mercury to me.
Yeah. He had a standalone
I think
mustache.
Get that for Christmas.
I had a mustache too. You should take his mustache and I'll Photoshop it onto Noah and me.
I don't think Noah
pic-
can grow a mustache.
No, I've never seen Noah with facial hair.
No, he would look good with. I don't think he can grow a beard. Yeah, it's like the Don Johnson, just a little bit of stubble. That's the most he ever gets.
Noah did dress like Don Johnson a lot as a kid.
He did, and we have those pictures too.
It's my favorite picture because he has a black Cabbage Patch Kid with a necktie, and it's supposed to be Philip Michael Thomas, and he has a cap gun. All right, Mom, we're gonna go.
All right, tell your wife I said hello.
She's
I'm
sitting
here.
here. We're finishing this podcast. We just have to do our sign off.
All right, I'll talk to you when I'll tell you about the car and all the negotiations and what we went through to finally get a car. We have to go pick it up tomorrow.
Okay. Thanks for being on the show with us.
Yeah, and you better cut it all out too.
No, I'm not going to. It's good to be on.
No, I don't know. I still have a teaching license.
I'll edit out people's names.
Yeah, because the only one was Daryl Grady, and he's dead. So everybody knew he was
Keep
ahead.
repeating it.
Everybody knew what.
Well, when Devin was on, he told us about all these people that killed people in his hometown.
First and last names.
And then first and last names. And then he called me the next day. He's like, "Can you edit out their names?"
Well, no, Daryl. Everybody knew brought drugs from California, and he taught everybody about it. I mean, that's an Elm City story. It's like the Naked City. There are 500 stories, or 5 million stories, or whatever. We're like 8,000, 7,000.
Oh man.
All right.
All right, love you.
Love you too. You want to say goodnight to your dad?
Yeah, sure. Good night. I'll talk to you soon.
Go off tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're just gonna sit around and watch 70s movies about drugs all day.
Oh, sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
That's what we did tonight. I watched 2 romantic comedies and then this movie.
I thought you had parties to go to.
Tomorrow night, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But in the day, movies.
Oh, okay. How's the little dog doing?
He's sleeping.
He's in that blanket.
He's inside a blanket sleeping.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, love you, Dad.
Love you too, honey.
I'll talk to you soon.
Becca, good night for me.
Okay.
Good night.
Good night, Becca. You guys have a good sleep.
All right.
Thank you. I love you.
Love you too. Bye-bye.
Bless you.
Bless you. Bye. That was my parents on the podcast.
Call my dad.
You gonna call your dad and ask him?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask him if the drugs are more in high school or more in, if he's up. He usually is.
He'll be up.
He's turning into your parents.
Is he?
Yeah. Mom goes, he slept till 11.
Oh my gosh. Your mom had already been up for 9 hours.
Or he'll go, what? Because he thinks it's late and it's an emergency.
Okay. Becca's calling her dad.
Let's see if he answers.
My parents, you can call my parents up till 3 or 4 and they'll answer. So everybody's waiting with bated breath.
Don't know.
See if your dad answers.
What are you doing?
He did answer.
Oh,
Okay, here he
okay. We just called, we're doing one of our podcasts, and, we watched that movie, Go Ask Alice. Do you know that movie, Go Ask Alice?
Yeah.
That's about that girl who does, drugs in high school, and it's based off of her diary.
Yeah.
And so Sam called his parents to ask them, because, they were both teachers in the 70s.
Yeah.
If drugs were that crazy in high school back then.
Drugs were that crazy?
Yeah, what was it like in your high school?
No.
When did
We
you...
didn't have any drugs. It was all drinking.
All drinking.
Drugs started about 2 years after I got out of high school.
Yeah.
What year was that? 1986. 1986.
No. I was born in 84.
I was trying to make your dad sound. I was trying to make him sound younger.
No.
No, but I mean, that's the truth. Up until my day, there was no, you never heard marijuana, nothing, just drinking.
Yeah.
You know, period. I mean, nothing. No group, no type of people, no outcast, no incast.
Yeah.
Nobody. Like I said, we didn't even talk about my first exposure was down there in a street in Detroit called Plum Street.
Yeah.
And it was like, you know, some hippie shops and incense and shit.
Yeah.
And that's how it all started, you know.
Yeah.
Did Becky tell you I ran the first head shop, Sam?
Yeah.
The Happy Apple.
The Happy Apple.
Yeah.
That was the name. So,
Well, then
But who was...
in this
Oh.
movie, it's like in 1973, and every kid has acid and weed, and there's kids doing glue.
that might be, I mean, around that time, it's pretty damn close, if not.
It's
But
supposed
he
to be.
was in Hazel Park, Michigan.
This was supposed to be in
It
Cincinnati.
Sam, it didn't develop like from weed to higher drugs. It was all at once.
Oh.
I mean, you could get anything. Fucking mescaline, LSD, you know,
Yeah.
downers, uppers,
Round the corners.
black cherries,
What is it?
black cherries.
What's that?
It
The,
was like some type of speed or
yeah,
something.
Dexedrine.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
then we had
They used to call those. They called those 7 and 14s here.
Good.
They called them 714s here because that's the highway that takes you through Youngstown. That's where you could get it.
All right. Hey, but anyways, we had this one game named,
Uh-huh.
and we all smoked dope and all this other stuff, and he did barbiturates, like Seconal, just totally big buzz, but a downer. You know, you're always like slow, and you know. So we'd be sitting around at a party, or where was he? He was at an outdoor concert, and he's sitting on the blanket. He always talks slow. He goes, "Yeah, man, that's good." You know? And he's got his eyes wrap over and shit.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of a big, you know, was no punk or nothing. He was a carpenter. I don't know how he went to work. But anyways, so his buddy, Captain Hoyt, Dennis Hoyt, he was on the opposite. They lived together. He's doing speed. And doing on sectionals, you know. And that was it the whole time. So anyways, the captain got in a fight with a couple of guys. And Joe got to his knees on the blanket. And he said, get him, Johnny. Took one swing and fell down and passed out. So that's all he did was like, you know.
Yeah.
I said, how you doing, John? He goes, getting down.
Wow.
It was some wild shit, you know.
Yeah. Well, we just wanted to know about high school and seeing if it was as crazy as this movie makes it out to be.
We used to, when we had that shop, me and this one guy used to play high school football. He was really good.
Yeah?
He changed over too. I got him a job at the store with me, you know.
Yeah.
And we would do whatever kind of drugs. We just sit in the chairs and rant to people. It was like no fear of a robbery or anything, you know.
Yeah.
And that's where we met all those music groups.
Yeah.
That's where it started. Because it really was one of a kind.
Yeah.
You know, one pair of leather pants made by somebody, you know.
I know, I saw pictures.
Before all the manufacturers got into it.
Yeah.
And you could see that developing.
Yeah.
So they're all going, we're not going to sell out to the big guy. Shit. And then everything got so big, it wasn't empty stores. You just looked like one did business, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, whatever. Neat times, though.
All right.
Well, thanks.
Good music. It was the best in Heights. Also, please listen to Jay Giles. Magic Dick and harmonica. You ever heard that, Sam?
Yeah, I know Centerfold, and I know Peter Wolf was their singer.
This is the one, I forget what the name is now.
Huh.
Where they call him Magic Dick. He plays the harmonica. It's a long solo.
Mm.
Unbelievable.
I don't know.
Big John Mayle looked like a new guy. So,
Mm.
I, my children, throw me. if you're going to use any information I just give you,
Yeah.
like put me down at the bottom of the podcast like I'm in the asteroid.
Yeah, you're in it.
I'm a drug historian. So.
Drug historian.
You may be recorded and used on legally. We have to tell you.
Against me.
Legally, we have to tell you that
He has no one to impress anymore.
You gave me without my knowledge, dude. It's no good.
I'll tell you, I think if I grew up in the 70s, I'd be dead.
He just called his parents and his mom. What'd she say?
She said that she met this guy and he used to play music in his car, but she couldn't date him because he was black. But that'd be better than dating an Italian.
That's what Sam's mom just said.
And all the people that used to bring drugs into California and
Elwood City.
Elwood.
Yeah, like I said, it wasn't such a big deal back then. Even with the law enforcement. Like, I never dealt drugs, but I knew tons of people that did. It's like being in that and around the music thing, you know.
Yeah.
And a buddy of mine, he says, well, I need to get a kilo of pot, 2.2 pounds in a blip, So I just called the guy. I goes, I'll get it. And he thought nothing of it. Guy drops off my house, threw it in my trunk in a grocery bag, we went to Brady's hamburgers in the parking lot. He gave me the money, he just handed it to him. On the open, we were talking, drunk stuff. So it wasn't the fear, it just wasn't looked at the same.
Well, nobody killed each other over it at that point.
No, and nobody, that would never happen with hippies.
Yeah.
I never heard that. Nothing.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of dealing going on.
Yeah.
That just got crazy later. Yeah, but we never had any files for that,
Yeah.
So, but it was real lackadaisical,
Yeah.
That's because everybody was on downers.
Huh?
Because everybody's on downers. Nobody wants to fight.
It's that sack and all sex, dude. Come on.
Yeah.
You said if I was still been around that, you'd have loved it.
Yeah.
You would have. You'd be some big historian by now or something.
I'm-
You'd have on John Lennon glasses the whole 9 yards.
I missed my calling.
That's his
There's
next look.
people in Ann Arbor, Michigan, my age that are still there.
Yeah.
Hanging and
Tie-dye
banging.
shirts. The one was a grandmother and had this just a bag cloth that the baby was hanging off the front of her. Not one of those nice yuppie, strapped down things. This is just like a cloth bag.
For your baby.
Yeah, they still go to folk concerts at a coffee shop and shit. Still, man.
Man.
Look at that. One time with the football game where they asked the man. I went up there. There was a couple of them there burning incense or something. I says, dude, it ended. It's over. They're just like, look at me like, what? Yeah, we just ripped at them, so.
Oh.
Just don't get a haircut, you will, so.
Yeah, I know.
Anyways, that's my drug stories.
All right, thank you.
Love you.
Yeah, me too. And like I said, broadcast it at will.
Okay.
Here, you can go and see on the podcast, though. We're going to have a call-in show right now, and one of our dry gas shirts from the past is going to call in.
I'll put a little thing. What?
I can pull prices on old drugs and shit,
It was cheaper then.
How much was a kilo of weed back then?
And just get a little bit over 2, that much.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe 220 or 210 or something. Just say because I remember giving me $200. So.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I mean, that's cheap.
Oh yeah.
I mean, think of how many bags you can make and shit.
Oh yeah.
Our big deal was a dime bag. $10, 3 fingers tall. That's how you measure it.
You're giving him flashbacks.
I know.
Remembering.
All right.
Shit, man, I'm giving you inside details, man. So when if I want my pot, go up to the guy, he goes, give me a lid, 3 fingers for sure. All right?
All right, thank you.
You look at you and go, what the fuck did you just say?
No, I may or may not know what you're talking about.
Go out in the streets and put this stuff to good use.
I will.
All right, buddy.
Thank you.
Love you.
See you guys later.
All right.
Me too.
Good
All right,
night.
bye.
Bye.
I'm going to call your brother next.
Oh. He didn't have drugs in high school.
He didn't have drugs
He
in high school?
didn't get it till he was
No, your
older.
brother got busted for having that giant
That was a mistake.
because he found a bong in the woods.
And he was like 7.
And he was 7, and he brought it in to show everybody, and the police got called.
Yeah, because he was still in elementary school.
Then the police questioned him without your dad there, and your dad came in and raised hell.
Yeah.
I've heard this story.
Yeah.
I heard it in Vegas the first time. I was like, I just met your dad. He was like,
I killed the principal.
and I told that principal, I'm gonna fucking kill you. I was like, well, it's nice to meet you.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, in the middle of my mom talking about that car or your dad talking about buying bricks of weed.
Yeah.
This has become my favorite episode of the podcast ever.
Yes.
I think we brought experts in to talk about Go Ask Alice.
We did. And you like how our experts are old and they're still up.
That's how, old people are supposed to be like, oh, I went to bed. That's why they eat dinner at 4 o'clock. No, they're going to eat again tonight before they go to bed. I'll eat. They'll have tea. My mom will make now they eat healthier snacks, but when I stayed there, my mom would be like, we're going to have a peanut butter sandwich at 3:30 in the morning. My mom would bring in toast for me, and I'd be like, okay.
You
And
loved
tea.
it.
I
Don't
loved
complain.
it. I'm not
You would
complaining.
love it if I woke you up at 3 o'clock in
Oh.
the morning and said, here's peanut butter toast, baby.
My mom would be like, here's some toast, and we put some coconut butter on it for you because we know you like that. And that's what
That's why I would live with my
And
parents.
orange
again, too.
slices. There would be some orange slices and some toast.
Are you kidding?
And some they would bring in, honey, I know you're hungry, so I brought you a raw potato.
Ew.
And they would bring me a potato.
Your parents punished me with that.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
This is my favorite episode of the podcast.
They wanted you to be healthy.
I think this is great. The only thing would make this better, and she's not awake, if I called my grandma and asked her about drugs in the 70s.
No, Grandma probably think you're like a salesman.
Grandma, tell me about that time you had all the all the plants on your dryer.
Who are they for, Joel?
No, she just likes to keep plants because they're pretty.
And she didn't know that they were.
She knew what they were.
Well, how'd she have it?
She just would grow it all the time.
Where'd she get it from?
Who knows? It was, at one point, it was like all over the back porch. But, whatever. It should be.
Milligrams.
Can I make a political statement?
Yeah.
Marijuana should be legal. And
It can be legal. I still just think that.
it's legal, but you, just like drinking, you should be
can't.
responsible with its use.
But I feel like people think they can get away with more on it.
No. It's the same thing as drinking, I think. I think it's a lifestyle choice. I think it's better than drinking because you don't get fat. People don't get fat, and
Yeah, you do eating the munchies.
well, you just control yourself. You just tell yourself when you're hungry, if I eat this, everyone I love dies. That's how I don't eat. So it's
They should just make all drugs legal, and then there won't be any more fighting about who's dealing because, it's legal and anybody can buy it anywhere.
Yeah.
And then if you get in trouble with it or you die from it, that's your problem.
That's what I tell people. People say to me all the time, like, aren't you upset that wrestler X did, like, whenever you watch those old NWA shows, and they're like, it's a shame that Hawk died when he was in his 40s from doing steroids. I'm like, he gambled, and he made a lot of money being on steroids, and he lived a long time. I mean, Animal did just as many steroids. He's alive and well. And
Look at my dad, mister.
hey, nobody partied more, did more drugs than Michael Hayes. And that dude's alive. Mm-hmm. It's all gambling with your life. And I think I'm a big believer that people make their own choices. Mm-hmm. And that people should get to make their own choices. Speaking of that, if you choose to contact us about this episode, were you around in the 70s and you want to talk to us about drugs? Or maybe in the 80s or in your high school? Was it like Go Ask Alice? Have you seen Go Ask Alice? Did they show it in your health class? Did you get kicked out of the first day of health class like I did? Because they said bone, and I started giggling. And they said, we're going to talk about a lot worse stuff than bone, sir. And every time the teacher said bone to me, do you think bone is funny? Do you think the word bone is funny? And I couldn't stop giggling. I was like, yes, I think the word bone is hilarious.
when you make the cover art for this one, you have to put my dad's picture and your mom's picture.
You should really find me a picture of your dad.
You should find one of your mom from the 70s.
We
Put
should-
one of your mom up and one of my dad, and us in the middle.
My dad's giant afro. I love this movie. I'm going to give it
I told you would like it.
I give it a B.
Give it an A. For
It's
Alice.
it's a TV movie, but it's great. I ordered this movie and Alice, Sweet Alice together, which I think is two great ones. Two great 70s movies for different reasons. But, and also both movies deal with Catholicism. So, there's that.
Yes.
And Teenage Girls in Trouble. Did you ever see Angel? That's another great Girls in Trouble movie. It's from the 80s. It has a great tagline. Honor student by day. High class called prostitute by
I'm sure
night.
you saw it.
There's 3 different ones. And the last one's called Avenging Angel, where she goes back on the streets to fight pimps and she dies at the end.
She fights pimps.
Yeah, she's like a super cop. They're all great. Any Kids in Trouble movie are my favorites. Please, if you would like to talk to us about this, you can reach us at B&S, spell it out, B&S About Movies at gmail.com, or also B&S About Movies.podomatic.com, or if you find us on YouTube, just put a comment there. If you find us on our Facebook page, just put a message on our Facebook page. We want to hear from you. What's your favorite TV movie that's not Go Ask Alice or Bad Ronald? Or The Wave. Did you ever see The Wave? So it's about this sociology class,
Yeah.
and they take all the kids with brown eyes
Yeah.
and all the kids with different colored eyes, and they separate them. And all the kids with brown eyes become the Wave, and they all wear armbands, and they take over the school like Nazis. It's great. Like, it's one of those movies that I was all like asshole about when it started. And I'm like, this movie's stupid. Now that I'm older, I love it. I think it's great. I drank a Moxie during this episode. It's a drink from like 1884. It's like a, I don't know how you describe it. Like a sarsaparilla.
Tastes like medicine.
Yeah. Tastes like medicine. It tastes like medicine that makes you poop. I loved it. I don't know what movie's next. Also, if you reply to us and you'd like to pick a movie, we do requests. And if you want Becca to write you a poem, as we suggested in previous episodes, Becca will write you a poem. Thanks for listening. Hey, baby, I have a trivia question for you before we're done.
We should just start calling people on our podcast.
We are. We're going to start doing it.
Random
We should
people.
randomly just call Bill now and ask if you've ever seen this movie. No, we're going to bed now. But we could ask him tomorrow night and record him and put it into this podcast.
You could.
Yeah. Well, did you know the first movie to ever show a toilet and the toilet flushing?
What?
Psycho.
Oh. That's interesting.
Because it brought the horror of it, Hitchcock felt, brought you into the intimacy of the bathroom, which it was the last room where
That hadn't-
the people couldn't be attacked. Stephen King felt the same way, which is that's why
He loves her in the
Sleepwalkers has the scene in the bathroom where he's sitting on the toilet and is trying to get out. Like, the bathroom for a man is the last room where he feels refuge.
We know you live in there.
I love the bathroom.
My baby sits and thinks in there. He reads.
I was thinking about it today.
He writes. He draws.
I was taking a little salon in the bathroom. And as I was going, I was like, this is the place where I feel safest.
Not in your baby's arms.
In your arms, yes, but this is my...
If you could be on the toilet and in my arms, you'd
I've done it.
explode.
I've done it before.
sat
As
on
I
your
say
lap.
to you when you go to work and I'm going to the bathroom, I'm like, come here, and you hold me for a little bit and give me a kiss, and I feel, if you could put a blanket on me while I was pooping.
You'd be good.
Anyway, that's another episode of B&S About Movies. B&S About TV Movies. We're, again, looking for your input. And
Looking for a small dog.
that's it. And as my wife always says,
We'll see you at the movies.